apart from the TARDISes and the Captain America shields, of course, I do the hammers. I do Mjolnir, but it isn't what you would see in a movie. It is my own take on Mjolnir. I'm a massive comic book Thor fan, and I wanted to have something that not only looked different but was a bit chunkier as well. And when you pick it up, I wanted you to feel like it was made for a god. So I took a lot of reference from comic books. I took a lot of reference from movies and also from textbooks, and just came up with my own idea. I went through a massive process of getting to the point where I was happy with the shape, the weight, the feel, the materials involved, the processes, because I use a lot of industrial processes in my building methods. Mjolnir is a stainless steel, welded up, formed, laser cut box essentially, with a mild steel haft. It's wrapped in leather, hand wrapped in leather. It's got machine tooled parts on it for the pommel and for the collet around the base of the haft. The actual head of the hammer, which is a stainless steel form, is heat treated by me by hand, and I went through several processes to get the right finish, because I wanted it to look a little bit unusual, like almost it had been forged in the heart of a dying star. And each one, because of that process, is absolutely unique. Each one differs, they all look slightly different, and it's a really nice way for me to pour into them some of, without wanting to sound too pretentious, some of my art. Mjolnir, the hammer, is finished with some laser etching, and people get a choice of what goes on there. But essentially they have a choice of the "whosoever should hold this hammer" quote, or the triqueter, which is a three-pointed curved triangle type etching, which was in the movie. And also there's the etching on the bevel, the scroll work on the bevel of the hammer head. And these are all things that I think the piece comes alive when the etching's done, and it's the last thing that's done. The etching on the edge is probably my favourite piece, the scroll work, because it was an original piece of artwork commissioned by myself from a Melbourne-based artist called Laura Herman, and I asked her to design a representation of Yggdrasil, the world tree. And if you look closely on the hammerhead, you'll see that the scroll work on the bevels is it has 9 little life flowers in it, and each one of those represents one of the realms on the world tree, the centre one being Midgard. And I feel that piece of original artwork really tops the whole thing off. And essentially these are engineered on. The whole thing is engineered together. It will never fall apart. It is not a toy. It's definitely a display piece. And even the strap that goes through the top of the handle is riveted in place inside the haft of the hammer. So you could, if you really wanted to, swing it around. I wouldn't recommend it. It weighs about 5 kilos and you break your wrist. But if you're a god, maybe.